Please don't forget to subscribe and comment. Your loved is my promotion. The sound of water splashing against the tiles filled the bathroom as I stood beneath the hot stream, letting it soothe my tense muscles. Had been a long day. My husband, Derek, was away on a last-minute business trip, and the house felt unusually quiet. I found myself lingering in the shower longer than usual, letting the heat melt away everything else. I hummed softly as steam swirled around me, unaware of the footsteps moving down the hallway outside. It wasn't until I heard the creak of the bathroom door opening that I froze, heart pounding in my chest. "Derek!" I called out, turning my head just enough to peek through the fogged-up glass of the shower door. I couldn't make out much through the haze, but I heard a distinct male voice curse under his breath. "Oh shoot. I'm so sorry," the voice said, deep and unmistakably familiar. My stomach dropped. It wasn't Derek. It was Leon, Derek's younger brother. I let out a startled gasp, instinctively wrapping my arms around myself, though the frosted glass shielded me from view. Leon spun around instantly and faced the wall. "I didn't know you were in here, I swear." My heart raced. "What are you doing here?" I asked, trying to steady my voice. Leon sounded genuinely flustered. "Derek said I could crash here tonight. My place is being fumigated, and I didn't think anyone was home. I knocked, but I guess you didn't hear it." The door was unlocked. I stood there, water still running down my skin, trying to decide what to do next. Leon was 2 years younger than Derek, but he'd always had this intense, brooding presence that I'd noticed at family events. We never really talked much, just the usual polite exchanges, but there was something about him, something smoldering beneath the surface. "It's fine," I finally said, my voice calmer now. "Just don't turn around." "Not planning on it," he replied quickly, still facing the wall. "I'll just step out and pretend this never happened." But before he could leave, my foot slipped on the slick surface of the tub. I yelped, grabbing for the handle, barely managing to stop myself from falling. "Are you okay?" Leon asked, concerned. I heard him take a step closer, still turned away. "I'm fine," I said breathlessly, heart still racing. "That was close." There was a pause, and then I heard his voice again, quieter this time, almost uncertain. "I can grab you a towel, if you want. It's, right here on the counter." He hesitated. "Okay. Just don't look." "I won't," he promised. A moment later, a towel was draped over the top of the shower door. I reached up and took it, wrapping it tightly around me before slowly stepping out. The bathroom was heavy with heat and tension. Leon still faced away, standing rigidly by the door. "You can turn around now," I said softly. He turned, but carefully kept his eyes averted, like he was afraid to meet mine. "I really didn't mean to walk in on you," he said again, his voice low and sincere. "I believe you," I replied. "It's okay, Leon. Accidents happen." Finally he looked at me, and for the first time really looked at me. His eyes traveled over my damp hair, my flushed cheeks, the way the towel clung to my skin. He didn't say anything, but something flickered in his gaze, something raw and unspoken. It sent a ripple through me I couldn't quite explain. I crossed my arms over my chest, still holding the towel tightly. "You okay?" He blinked, then gave a slight laugh, shaking his head. "No, yes. You're beautiful." I sucked in a breath. "Leon, I'm sorry," he said quickly. "I shouldn't have said that." But the words were already hanging between us. The moment had shifted. The silence that followed wasn't awkward. It was electric. Leon stepped back, running a hand through his tousled dark hair. "I'll go. I'll find a hotel or something." "No," I said, the word escaping before I could stop it. "You don't have to leave." He looked at me, surprised. "You didn't do anything wrong. We can just forget it happened." He nodded slowly, though his eyes still held that same intensity. "Right. Forget." I moved past him, brushing against his arm by accident, or maybe not entirely by accident, and felt a jolt. He did too. We both paused in the doorway, too close for comfort. Or maybe just close enough. You should probably get dressed, he murmured, his voice low and charged. He nodded. Yeah, I should. I walked down the hall to my bedroom, heart hammering. I closed the door behind me and leaned against it, towel still damp against my skin. I tried to shake it off, to pretend the tension was nothing, but I couldn't. Leon's eyes, his voice, they kept replaying in my mind. Later that evening, after I dressed and made tea to calm my nerves, I found Leon sitting on the couch, scrolling on his phone. He looked up as I entered. You okay? He asked. Yeah. You? He gave me a small smile. Yeah. I mean, it's still a little awkward, but... I laughed, a soft, nervous sound. We'll survive. He looked at me again, longer this time. I meant it, you know. What I said earlier. I felt the heat rise in my chest. About what? That you're beautiful. I bit my lip. Leon. I know you're with Derek, he said quickly. And I'd never cross a line. I've thought it for a long time. You've always been kind. And warm. I used to wonder if he even saw how lucky he was. I sat down slowly, not too close but not far enough. Derek and I. Things haven't exactly been perfect. He looked at me then, and I saw something shift in his expression. I've always thought if I met someone like you, I'd never take her for granted. His words landed with a weight I didn't expect. I suddenly felt vulnerable, exposed in a different way than I had in the shower. This wasn't about bodies. It was about hearts, about something deeper. I looked at him, really looked at him. Leon, I don't know what's happening here. Neither do I, he admitted. But it feels real. The tension between us became undeniable, buzzing like electricity. He didn't move closer, didn't make a move. But the possibility hung in the air like a storm about to break. I stood up. I need some air. He followed me out onto the back patio. The night was cool, stars scattered across the sky. I wrapped my arms around myself as I leaned on the railing. Leon stood beside me, silent at first. I'm sorry if I've made things harder, he said softly. I'll leave tomorrow. I turned to him, shaking my head. No, it's not you. It's me. I haven't felt this alive in months. Derek's been distant, cold. I thought maybe it was just marriage. But now I don't know. He looked down, his jaw tense. I've been in love with you for a long time, Elise. The sound of my name on his lips made something twist inside me. I never meant to let it show. But today, when I walked in, God, I've never wanted anything more than I wanted to hold you. Not just because of how you looked. Because it was you. I didn't stop him when he stepped closer. I didn't move when his hand brushed mine. And when his lips met mine, tentative at first, then deep and aching, I let it happen. The kiss wasn't wild or rushed. It was filled with everything we hadn't said. Everything we both felt but never dared admit. When we pulled apart, I was breathless. This is crazy, I whispered. Yeah, he said, forehead resting against mine. But it's real. We didn't go any further that night. We just sat there side by side, his hand in mine. The heat between us simmered, but we held back. Out of respect, out of fear, out of something deeper, hope maybe. The next morning the house was quiet again. Leon was gone. But he left a note on the counter. Elise, I meant every word. I'll wait for as long as it takes. Leon. I held the note for a long time, heart full of chaos. I didn't know what came next. But I knew one thing for sure. That moment in the bathroom wasn't the end. It was only the beginning. Please don't forget to subscribe for more top stories.